Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is the Monday Night Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 7, Episode 2. And I'm, as always, joined by Martin, Seventh Son, point at the one there, and Steve on Point HQ over there. The other one, we no idea whether he's going to turn up. But, then we never know anyway.
we never know anyway. So.
Just sort of appears out of it. It's like sort of a random genie just appears.
Just have to hold
Steals everything from everybody and then sells it on eBay. It's generally the way it works. Welcome to everybody. Tonight we're going to look at, well, we always get accused of encouraging everybody to take on new projects. So we're going to embrace it entirely tonight. We're going to go right in on it, and each of us has hopefully come with something that we want other people to consider that maybe isn't that much in favour or isn't that common, or we just are being dastardly and wanting to encourage Steve to pick up a new project. Martin?
I have one goal. My goal for this evening is for Steve to open his wallet. The 100 people that are watching, they're not my target. Tonight, my target is there.
Yeah, that's entirely reasonable.
This isn't the first time this has happened, though. This will be the second time this has happened.
Will you resist
Back
this
in
time?
The midst of time when I don't know. I ended up with 4 boxes of Perry's miniatures last time.
You did, yeah. But what did you do to them? So any suggestions anybody has during the course of the evening? If you're not a gamer. That's fine. Any kind of ideas around model kits or paints or different techniques or anything really, just that you think just needs to be encouraged. Maybe you're a army painted dipper user, for instance, and you just want that to be brought back into the mainstream again, or you use acrylics and use enamels rather than acrylics, or oil paints or whatever. I don't know, whatever it may be. But anyway, lots of ideas. Lots of them put on the Facebook page already, so we'll look at some of those as well. So looking forward to it, actually. So thanks for everyone watching, obviously, live tonight, but also those catching up on the catch-up, and also those on Spotify as well. Thank you very much indeed for following us all. Let's have a quick look at who's in the chat.
And we've got to do the draw if any people have still got time.
Oh, yes. Good point. Yes, we will do the draw for the giveaway, which is, where's the picture? There it is. This. The Mass Samurai game, which is care of Boards and Swords. Thank you very much indeed to them for sending it out. We'll do that at the sort of halfway-ish time when we're doing the news a bit. So if you want to win this, remember, I'm afraid you have to be UK-based or able to get somebody from the UK to post it onto you. If you want to win that, go back to Steve's channel the last week's stream and make a comment there.
Well, I'll post a link in the
good plan
in the chat.
There you go. So I think the last time I looked, there were 51 comments there. So
we can get that higher. Come on.
Come on.
I think we can. We definitely can. So while Martin's putting that in the chat, let's have a look who's in the crew here tonight. We've got Louis Baby, who came in an hour early. Louis Baby, what are you doing? And then, just not to be outdone, Steve came in half an hour early. So, yeah, there you go. Well done, you chaps. Paul's here. He's doing GMW Swedes tonight. Good for you. Walkabout Games. Hello, good evening to you, or good morning to you, I think, because you're in Canada. Lionheart's here. Trevor's here. Trevor says, evening all, arranging a bank overdraft to cover what my wallet spends tonight after these recommendations.
We should put a disclaimer down below.
We should do, shouldn't we?
We're not responsible for any purchases that may be carried out after tonight's stream.
What do you mean, maybe? Definitely will be.
Definitely will be.
Seriously, Wargaming says, hello from southern Ontario, where we've been pulverized by winter storms. Great to be indoors, finishing up some guards of traitors told figures this afternoon. Good for
Oh,
you.
nice.
Glendore's here. John Sarby, good evening. Red Steph, hello, mate. Neil's here. Richard's here. Richard's eating me crumpets and tea cake for supper, and then working on some War of the Roses light cavalry. Good for you, mate.
Nice. Excellent.
I hope you got a nice bit of tea with that. A cup of tea with that. Should do. Paul Crouch is here. He says, finally catching up on a live show after a very busy holiday season. Good for you, mate. And good to see you back. Camberwell Johnny, Carl Burks, Mobile and Hostile, Mike Schubert, Nick Dawson, 99999999999 paid. Nathan, good evening, mate. He says, evening from South Wales. My ECW marathon has begun. Tonight he'll mostly be painting pikemen. Good for you. Grand Prego, hello Anthony, how you doing? Old crazy cat man who's here. He's curious whether your potato internet is working better tonight, Martin.
Well, the 30-meter long cable is installed, the adapter, everything is in, and it seems stable to me. I don't know how it seems to you guys. If, however, you suddenly hear like a crashing sound and the internet goes, that's because a child or wife somewhere in the house has tripped over the cable. Because I haven't followed health and safety and put down the special little mats or anything. I haven't done a risk assessment. I haven't got anyone to sign it. And this is all entirely at the PCP's risk. So if they go over, it's actually the PCP that's liable, not me.
How do we feel about that one, Steve? Should we just kick him out now and make sure we're all safe?
I don't know. I mean, would that be deemed as a dynamic risk assessment or a very undynamic risk assessment?
I have no words. This wasn't how I was expecting tonight's stream to go. I'm not going to lie.
No, she's done. She's done. Right, she's eaten. The washing's done. Genuinely, all that has been sorted. So, fingers crossed.
So we're hoping it's all good tonight.
Yeah.
Jack's here. Good evening. Lynn's here. Hello there. Mark Riding. Nick Games. Hello, mate. The real Steve's here.
Hey.
Evening on the
thankfully.
night, he says. Matt is in. Draken Scroll is here. Tragic. Tragic. There's quite a few tragic people in this.
Tragic Wargamer would be a great handle for Tragic Wargamer.
Tragic Wargamer. Good name. Yeah, whatever. Well done, Steve. Haven't I? Ed James, hello there, mate. Dave Benton, hello, mate. Double Dip, good evening to you. Adam Kirkley is here as well. Duncan is here. David is in the house. Alex Storm of Steel is here. He says he's working on a trench map jigsaw this evening. Yeah, I saw that in your update, mate. Couple of good
I haven't seen now.
yeah. He got jigsaws, but they're war ones, so that's all acceptable. Mark Bross is here. Blimey, Robin's in the house, so we better watch ourselves. Are you doing any more reviews on any rule sets, Robin? Just so I know. Dan is here. Blimey, it's chopping again. Not you. The thing. Lazy Pirates in the house. It's dropped to the bottom. Anyway, lots of people. Thank you very much, as always, for everybody. Yeah. So let us take a look first of all about what we've been up to. Steve, do you want to take it away? What you've been up to? I saw you've done some madcap stuff as usual.
Yeah, my painting week last week was rather interrupted by another bout of illness.
Oh my goodness!
I know, 2.5 days off work. I don't know what it was, just some kind of grim bug. So I spent a lot of time just watching YouTube and reading old copies of White Dwarf. Excellent. I did get a few things finished. Well, I've got more things actually in work in progress than actually finished. But
nice.
I did finish more of my Chaos Space Marines for my 40k second edition tomfoolery. These took me ages, and because of the trim. That's a lot of gold trim.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And God, it's just when you start something, you just think, I wish I hadn't started this.
Yep.
But I ploughed on, and then it's 2 different colours. Then it was a wash. Then there was highlights. Then there was another wash. Then there was more upper highlights, and it's all over them. And yeah, it was very blingy looking. But yeah, they're done. So these are 4 World Eaters.
Nice.
They are led by an aspiring champion, but I've forgot to upload that photograph. As you do. But these were part of a job lot I got off eBay last year, and that's all of them. So
oh wow.
All I didn't realize how old these actually came out in 2001. I didn't realize they were that old.
I remember.
Yeah, and when I bought them, they're all constructed as a job lot of 10, already based and stuck together. But they were good. They were unpainted, they were unprimed, so it was worth it. I got them for a good price as well. So up next is I spent Saturday afternoon doing that.
That is ace. That is cool.
Oh my goodness!
So,
what
is that? What you're
for those uninitiated, obviously I know exactly what that is, but for those who might not know what the flipping heck is that?
It's a Chaos Nurgle, a Chaos Dreadnought of Nurgle. I picked up a really old, cheap and battered Dreadnought off eBay last year with the purpose of funking it up and making it all plague-like. I bought all the green stuff and the rollers and all the tools, and I did nothing with it. I just put it off, and on Saturday afternoon I sat down, big cup of coffee, some music, and I was at my desk for hours just working on this. And there's the arm.
Nice.
Does he know that he's been abused by an elephant?
Is he?
All those trunks. Well, the trunks
right.
everywhere.
That's not where my mind was going, Dom. I see more diseased tentacles than elephants.
Oh, okay. I thought they were after his current bun or something.
No. But honestly, that's probably the most green stuff I've used in my entire life. Normally I've used it for like filling gaps and stuff, but yeah. So I got myself one of those green stuff rollers from Green Stuff World. They are brilliant. It's so easy to use, and yeah, you can create a whole host of grimness. There's all kinds. There's bits. That bit, those 2 grey bits, they're actually torsos from Chaos Warriors that I've just sort of splodged on and covered in green stuff.
Bloody hell.
And yeah, and then going around making all the pustules, which I'm actually painting at the moment. Yeah, diseased flesh, my favourite. That's pretty much what I got up to all last week. But I've got loads on the desk. I've got another warband for Space Weirdos. I've got some Marines. I've even dug out the old Legions Imperialis from a couple of years back. So lots of stuff, work in progress at the moment.
Excellent. Well, back into nostalgia, or continuing to be in nostalgia.
Yes.
That's fantastic. All like that. What about you, Martin? What you been doing?
So it's been slightly quieter on the painting front. I did the only thing I really finished is what I was working on last week's stream, which was if you remember I talked about I was painting up a new Mark Antony, or just a commander to replace the bloody stupid standard bearer that kept on breaking. So I finished that, and I used the time to tidy up the base and fix a couple of things. So here he is. So here he is on the base. So the commander's the figure that I finished last week.
Oh, cool.
So he's on there. I was quite pleased. It is a Warlord miniature, but it's a really normally proportioned Warlord miniature. Yeah. Which was confusing. So there he is. Yeah, I like him. He does look like I think they're going to die very defending him. So So yeah, that was I finished him, got him on there, and yeah, I've done quite a few, just enjoy painting him. So that was what I did on last week's stream, was just paint him up and then got him on the base. Other things I've been working on, most of this week was spent editing various videos and various things. I got my War of the Roses Volume 1 Hellion review up. And that actually, it took a little bit longer than I wanted to, because I was actually trying out sort of a slightly different format for the video rather than just aiming it at wargamers, because it's not just a wargaming book. So I was trying to sort of make it accessible for people who don't wargame, as well as wargamers, which is sort of doubly hard when you're trying to consider like the language that you're using. So I did that. It's a really good book. It's going to upset people, but it's a really good book.
Upset people in what way? Because of some of the
so I can't believe this. Sometimes when you go back to edit something and you're like, why did I use that word? But I have to leave it in there because I'm not refilming the whole bloody thing. And I said in there, I don't want to ruin. What did I say? I said that I didn't want to give people spoilers and ruin the book, ruin the ending. I obviously meant about the book and the conclusions in the book, not about the Wars of the Roses. But so I left it in there. But essentially, without ruining it too much, the author goes back to just two contemporary sources and looks at things like archaeology and assesses things like road locations and bridge locations and where you can actually fit an army and what was the land being used for when they said a battle was being fought there, to actually find out if that could or is it just later invention. So a lot of the battles have got slight reinterpretation or maybe when you take out some of the things that were later added by Victorian writers or even Tudor chroniclers, which leaves you with people aren't going to like some of it because it casts doubt and uncertainty on who was actually at certain battles. And as wargamers, we certainly like an order of battle. And the fact is that history isn't done up in a nice little neat bow, and you have to accept that. Doesn't stop you playing it, the way it's always been accepted. But when you've got, this is where the historians, the archive research really comes in. But when for a fact that because someone's is located in, I don't know, 100 miles away in another city because they're paying for lodging and they're there and there's court papers there, they can't then be at a battle where they're said to have killed the Duke of York. Right. So, what's more probable, where they're spending their money or where folks. So it's interesting that there's a bit of there's a big reanalysis of Wakefield and a very big I wouldn't say reanalysis of Towton, but it puts Towton into perspective. And I'd argue it actually makes it a little bit more exciting rather than a big pitch battle. It's like a big sort of like a day and a half long battle over about 8-9 miles, where you have multiple engagements with fresh troops, which I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to do another video looking at how wargaming we can take on potentially this new research and what that means, how we could game it, because I think it's quite exciting. It's quite cool. So that was pretty much my week. I've been planning out what I'm going to be doing and selling stuff on eBay. There you go. That's my
selling like crazy. Those really good Hellion books coming through at the moment, aren't they? They really have. I know they've always been been very good books, but they just seem to be in a real role of just quality, and particularly fairly niche, sometimes quite niche. I mean, obviously that covers a very large period, but there's some that are very niche, but really well researched. Very good indeed. No,
it's I think they're onto a good sort of trajectory at the minute. I might be doing a couple more books with them, and it was cool.
Good.
But that's it.
Nice.
What have you been doing?
Well, I've had quite a productive painting week, really. Sorry about that. So strap yourselves in. Mainly because I haven't done any gaming, and I've been around all week. So so it's been fairly productive. So I've been it's largely dominated. I realized when I started to sort of do an update stuff for myself of what I've done that it's pretty much all itsy bitsy 100 Years War and World War II. World War One. God, blimey, I can't talk tonight. Might have to take over. So I finished off some more of the War Games Atlantic.
Nice.
100 Years War. 10
nice.
mil. That's another sprue. Well, I've done basically another sprue of the English. So that's the dismounted men at arms with some of the archers out there. And I'm just cracking through them. Actually, I really enjoyed doing them. So that's them, and then the archers to go with them with their stakes. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big old force. I did pick up interesting. I was I'll probably update the video on it, but I've picked up some figures from Pendragon and Irregular Miniatures that are also 10 mil. Because these War Games Atlantic figures are lovely and they're really well detailed, and I don't know how they get the detail into a 10 mil figure like they do, but it's fairly limited in what you get. You know, the English, you get longbowmen, men at arms. That's it. There's nothing else, and predominantly that's what the army consisted of. But if you wanted any artillery, for instance, or bombards and that sort of thing, they don't have them yet. Same with the French, you know, it's crossbowmen, dismounted knights, and mounted knights. And that's
for Agincourt, you definitely need a cannon, because wasn't the first Englishman ever killed by artillery at Agincourt?
Supposedly so. Exactly right. So anyway, I bought a couple of few packs from both of those manufacturers just to see how they fit in, and I think they will work quite nicely, judging by how they've come out. But I haven't finished painting them, so. But it does also show you how. I'm not being rude about the other companies, but how much better the sculpting is on those 10 mils from War Games Atlantic than they are of some of the others. It's extraordinary. It really is. So yeah, that was a good start. I also, as I mentioned, got on with my World War One Ottoman forces. So I thought they needed some artillery support.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So
that's really nice.
Where are they from? Who makes them, Dom?
They are Woodbine Miniatures.
Those the Woodbine ones?
They are. Yeah. They're metal figures.
That field god is lovely.
What's that called again? Down the front? What's it called? Like a trench?
It's a trench catapult, I think they call it.
Catapult. Was it just a trench?
Yeah. It's basically, you can't see from this angle, but it's basically just a massive, great rubber band that catapults a grenade over distance. It's very bizarre thing. So, but that'll be my mortar for my Ottoman forces and the field gun there. Yeah, really lovely figures. Woodbine Miniatures are so nice, so nice. So I also did a few more infantry to go along. So I've got plenty. I think I've just about finished doing all the Ottomans now with what I finished this week. So another heavy machine gun for them because they seem to be quite powerful, and some infantry squaddies. I think mostly these ones are woodbined as well. Actually, yeah, they're all woodbined. Nice. Those ones. And I also got some with some Arab Ottoman figures. So I didn't realize I was reading up, obviously as you do when you start. Well, I do anyway. Heading into a new period. I was reading up on the Ottoman army, and apparently a third of their total army in World War One across all fronts were Arabs. So I'm going to mix them in amongst. I was originally going to have sort of a separate section for the Arab troops, but I'm going to mix them all in together, I think. And then I got some figures in the North Star sale that are sort of, I think they call them Arab irregulars, which I think you could use as rebels against the Ottomans, like Lawrence of Arabia kind of thing, or you can use them as Ottoman irregulars. So I think that's what I'm going to do and have them as a separate sort of company and then I'll just work these ones into the regular Ottoman forces. So, yeah,
cool.
Really pleased with how they've all come out.
Is this all for 0 hour, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I think so for the moment. Yeah. Well, I've said we were supposed to have a game last Friday, but Paul wasn't very well, so we didn't do it, which is why I didn't get a game this week. But I think we plan to have another go at it. I hope so, because I painted a shit ton of Ottomans if it's a crap rule set. But we enjoyed the first game so much. I think it's not going to be. I think we're pretty happy with how it's worked out. So yeah, lots of Ottomans. Really pleased with how they've come out. And then I've had these sitting in a bag under the desk for ages. I bought them sometime last year. So they're the Victrix foot sergeants. And I thought I might as well have a go at them and get some of them painted up. So that's the first 8 that I've done.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't like them as much as War Games Atlantic, if I'm honest. I know they won best whatever it is in all the awards. Victrix won pretty much everything, didn't they, in the recent War Games illustrated rules rule 25 thingy. But I don't like them as much as War Games Atlantic. I really don't. They come out well, and I think they paint up nicely. I like the detail on the on the sculpting of them. But assembling them, Steve, you would have heard me swear probably up there putting together some of these. They were fiddly as
Did you have an episode?
I had several episodes. I also had. I thought it was really simple because they give Witchers have got a lot better with their instructions. So you get this booklet in there.
Oh yeah,
which is but it's all color coordinated for the different bodies. But then my eyesight finds it almost impossible to find the relevant bit on the sprue. It's just like, oh, for God's sake. So after I've spent 20 minutes trying to find the right arm to go with the right body, I've then begins the absolute ball ache of trying to stick the buggers together. So, a lot of swearing was had. I also managed to chop part of my finger off doing it. So there you go. Not entirely enamored, but they're good. I mean, I like the effect. I think they've come out all right. But I don't know. Yeah. So there you go.
It's a great hobby, really, though, isn't it? Though.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's like, for God's sake. Yes. Sometimes I think, why do I put myself through it? I think I've definitely been lulled because the last few times I've been doing putting together models, I've actually don't tell anyone, quite enjoyed it. And so to then suddenly get back, it's almost refreshing to go back to a kit where I'm swearing at it and cursing and everywhere and sticking them to my forehead and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of almost, I think everything's better with the world, Anyway, there you go. So that's what I've been up to. So lots of World War One and lots of medievals, I guess. Been all good. So there you have it. So that's interesting. So Lionheart said he had problems with the polearm sergeants from War Games Atlantic trying to line them up. See, I didn't have a problem with them. It's these ones I had the problem with. It was the polearms, the ones double-armed ones. They were the ones that really were a problem for me. Anyway, I don't have shares, Richard, in War Games Atlantic. I wish I did. That would be nice. But no.
With the amount you buy, then yes, because it just
true. Yeah. I know they sent me the 100 years stuff for free, but I think it's more than enough given what I've already got. I shouldn't say this because I'll get myself in even more trouble than I do anyway in this stream. I was having a bit of a tidy up in the cabin and trying to put sort of different period boxes together in the same place and what have you. And I've managed to find I have somehow managed to collect 6 or 7 boxes of War Games Atlantic Renaissance heavy cavalry.
But they've not been out that long. How have you managed that?
I have no idea, mate. I remember buying 3, but I don't know where the rest have come from. Some goblins just got them in. I don't know. I could do them for the Italian wars, but I've got 6, maybe 7, I think. I don't need that many. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. Welcome to my world of ridiculous overspend. There you go. So that's what I've been up to. So let's get on to tonight's topic. So I know Martin's itching to do this. So come on then, Martin. What's the period, wargame rule set, figures, whatever it may be, that you want Steve to take up? Sorry,
I want Steve to stop looking down. I want Steve to look at the screen.
I'm too scared. I don't want to. don't make me look.
So I have done. Oh, look, the man is here. I've just been drilling holes in your miniatures, Paul, for spears. But mine is slightly nostalgia driven, and we were sort of talking about it last week. But my goal tonight is to essentially make Steve retake up War Machine by Privateer. Well, it used to be by Privateer Press. It's now by Steam Forge Games. Now, I know some people have probably heard of War Machine. Yes, it's going to be weird shit, but that's why I thought I would do it. As Dom said, the rules for this didn't even necessarily have to be something that we were going to do. It's just like basically pick something, have a look into it. Now, here's the problem. I started looking into it and nearly bought it. That was the problem that I faced during the week. Now, to talk about War Machine, you got to talk about Privateer Press and the fact that Steam Forge Games now own it. And Privateer Press started by writing campaign settings for RPGs. The Iron Kingdoms, which is where War Machine is set, it was a D&D setting basically, and so it's got a really fleshed out background. There's a lot of stuff that was already written, and it was a role-playing game setting, and then eventually a war game developed, and I think it came out sort of early 2000s, the first edition, and I got into it, played during the second edition, and I had a great fun. And essentially, well, shall I? I'll read you. This is the pitch on the Steam Forge website.
Come on, give us a pitch. Okay? Yeah, we need a pitch.
So, well, this is my pitch to Steve. This is Steve. War Machine is a fast-paced tabletop miniatures game that plunges players into a world of intense tactical combat and strategic planning. Set in a steampunk-inspired Iron Kingdoms, players command powerful warcasters and their mighty warjacks, mechanized constructs armed with devastating weaponry. Each army boasts its own unique abilities, units, and strategies, offering endless variety and replayability. With rich lore, detailed miniatures, and competitive gameplay, War Machine provides exhilarating experience for both seasoned veterans and newcomers. Dive into battles and prove your prowess in this dynamic and engaging game of strategy and warfare. Now, when we used to play it, there used to be a rule that was called, was it the page 5 rule or something? And literally all it said was play like you've got a pair. It's an aggressive game. It's an aggressive game.
Very aggressive game.
So what happened was Privateer Press kind of took this forward, and at one point it was starting to outsell, well, not outsell, but challenge Warhammer. Certainly 40k and the fantasy setting, and then because it was smaller armies, it was much more sort of graphic novel sort of levels of things. It's about big heroes and big robots punching each other in the face. They had the sort of the steampunky one, and then they had an offshoot Hordes, which was like a fantasy version, but they operate in the same world, so you could play both games against each other. So, which was quite fun, and I had a lot of fun with this back, 20 years ago. I really did. They had some awesome models. Anyway, somehow Privateer Press managed to screw this up, and it kind of coincided with Games Workshop moving to Age of Sigmar and moving the fantasy game to a lower model count, and realizing that they had to change their formula for what was popular. And then this kind of went pants. Anyway, Steamforge Games bought them, and they've bought out a 4th edition of the game. And I had a little look into this because I was looking at selling my miniatures and I was curious where we could go. The rules, first of all, are completely free. Totally free. You can download a free app and you can get the rules in there. You can buy a rule book, so all that, it's available in physical media as well, because we've often talked about it. If you want it, the rule book is £30 roughly, if you depending on where you get it from. But you can download the app, which I did. To have a do research for tonight, right? The app, which is on the little app, which is on the Steamforge website, is free, and it has every army on there, including legacy armies from their armies. So everything that you and I own is usable and playable, and you can do what you want. You won't get new updates, but all the rules are on there. Here you go, look, there's his army builders, all their stats are on there. So it's one of these ones where they do live updates, and they're on here. So there's plenty to keep you on it. There's also all of the books they've ever released are available to download to read for free on there. I was downloading old novels that are on there that I used to read. There's campaign books on there and all sorts. There is a paid option on there, which works a little bit like the GW app, where you get a model sent to you once a year or something. But obviously that's if you want to do it. Now, to actually play the game is sort of driven on it's a 2d6 system. So you roll 2d6, add your stat. If you get higher than target number, then you hit. It's that simple. If you are you can do a thing called boosting, where you boost a roll to add a d6 to your pool. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward stuff. But what I love about this is as I think a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of graphic novels. Graphic art, and it's the aesthetic in War Machine that I really, really like. I don't know why I prefer it to the GW aesthetic. I don't know why. I just always have. Anyway, Steamforged have put together new sets based on the old classic designs. So this is now where I'm going to bombard Steve with pictures of the army that he collected in a big game. So Steve, you had Cricks. Now Cricks are essentially effectively an undead faction of people who and I'm going to say faction because they were a political faction.
That's fine.
So I'm going to use it. And they worship a big undead angry dragon. So Steve, I thought you might like. So this is their current. So you would buy these battle group boxes, and this is the first one. So this is essentially a playable force in the game. This is what you could play a game with.
Is that a remaking of Asphyxius?
I don't know if that one is. He has been remade. I will tell you what that is. That is this is how would you not know this? I mean, Dom clearly knows this. This is the Crix Necrofactorium battle group. And that is Disruptor Eviscerus. The Warcaster. The Warjack is a Malefactor, and there's two Raptors, which are the little ones. These are all plastic now. Every single one is plastic.
I think he's just to go and head away from the screen for a minute there by the sound of it.
I've just thrown my wallet out the window. But they've got multiple boxes now. So every army has one of these little sets, and obviously you supplement it with other things. But Dom, the basic idea is in this case, the Warcaster that's at the front, which is this weird thing here, controls these robots. Yeah. Right. And then in the game, he gets a certain number of focus points, and he can get them to do things for him, and he controls them. So if he dies, they become you pretty much lose the game because you can't control them. But then things like infantry units, artillery units are all supplemental to him. So that's where the people who like list building, the fun comes in, which is like which
of these. They're called war jacks, but which jacks work particularly well with which warcasters and their abilities. Do you like defensive play or do you like aggressive play? Hint: aggressive play usually wins a lot in this game. But there's other things as well. So here's the other starter, Steve. So this is the new one. So you get all kind of gribbly witches and I don't know what the hell those things are. But I feel like it speaks to you. I can feel it speaking to you. And
the big jack at the back, that definitely is based on a previous one, isn't it? It was the big, huge war jack.
That's I'll find out what that is for you. That is. Here we go, because I had this saved on here. That is no, it's special. It's called Hades, and it just works with this one. But I know it's based on the Death Jack, which was the
I thought it was
which is also available. Steve, you're a discerning person who likes grotesque things. I've seen what you drink.
Do you remember
the mechanic rules? Now the mechanic rules are kind of like they've had. Do you remember the brutes? They were like
see what the normal mechanic rules, the big steam powered fist,
the big punchy hands, and
then the bigger one with the even bigger fists.
They've had a bit of an upgrade.
Oh, cool. Oh, what?
I mean, the giant things with metal fists that just want to punch you in the face. This is what I like about this game. Is I like the slightly over the top nature of it.
Slightly over the top,
but it's that's why it's very Image Comics. It's very just fun, and I like it. Again, small model count for someone who just might, or even just might paint something a little bit different. So if you wanted to get that sort of sci-fi fix, potentially getting a starter set for one of these, that would do it. It's got I joined the Facebook page this week. It's got a very, very, very active community. I've been chatting with Ian at Boards and Swords, who stocks it all, by the way. with Ian stocks it all. Ian also, obviously, that's at below retail. And of course, where would you go for a 5% additional? Well timed, sir. So, for example, so I worked out that these sets, the starter set, Steve, will probably just set you back 40 quid. That's it.
Sweet.
But they've released now. They have come onto a new thing. They know the value of 2-player starter sets, and there are some really, really neat 2-player starter sets, and they're releasing new ones. So the old one was Signar, who were the army that I had, who are best described as, how would you describe Signar? Signar were the goody two shoes.
They were
people with guns, but they like lightning. That was their thing. So this was sort of that's the Signar thing. If you remember, do you remember Alistair Kane, the gunslinger? He's there now. I had my Signar Warcaster was Striker. Was he someone Striker? He had goggles on. Yeah. So he's still around. Now what they have done, they've actually moved the game on in terms of universe 10 years. So some armies now no longer exist. They've been rolled into other armies. So do you remember the tree people? The Circle, they were called. They were in
Circle. The Circle of Oberos. Yeah.
They're gone. They're
okay,
gone.
Cool.
From what I understand, the Russian-inspired army essentially wiped them out, and they've now enveloped them into theirs. So now the Russian-inspired things have big, angry werewolf people, because they always end up with werewolf people in every game.
Every game you ever have.
Look, check this out for a starter set. There's a couple out in a minute. There's this one, which is Shadows and Scum. Okay, so in this starter set, look, you get this sort of dragony faction, and you get these. Look at these. These are Trollkin pirates with a shark.
That shark is absolutely brilliant.
But can you see what this is down the front? It's a pelican, and they're loading up its bill with grenades to go drop. And also, do you know what I love most about that shark monster? There's a little crab holding on to its fin for dear life at the top. He's holding on up there. But yeah, that's one of the little starter sets. There are other starter set sort of 2-player sets out there, like this one, which was called what was this one, like Frozen and Forgotten, which was based off of a couple of the old armies, which is but there's quite a lot to try it. So if you like fantasy gaming, you could play this. If you prefer sci-fi gaming, you could play this. But you could play against each other. You get one of the more high-tech armies. Now, my problem with this is that I had a look at the sort of the Russian-inspired army, the Kador, which my friend had, and I've got a lot of models for them, so it's completely playable. And then I saw this, which was someone riding a bear, standing on top of what looks like half a dragon or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it's somebody riding a bear, because why not? It's pretty much. So I guess the reason I'd say it'd be worthwhile, to me it's a very different system. It's a very, very fast game. I was watching some battle reports. The thing that this used to, and I can't believe this is probably one of the reasons I ended up falling out of it, is they've started to introduce more narrative play into it. Before, it was very crunchy, list building, everything I dislike about the game. And probably because I used to buy what I thought looked cool rather than what was good. Hence, I lost a lot when I played this game. But there's lots of narrative stuff in it now. They're updating it, but because it's based off an app for all the stats, those are updated for you. It does mean you've got to use that, but you can print your army lists, much like Dom and I do for Baron's War. It produces a PDF off your phone. You can just print it off. And also for in-game play, if I was playing Dom and he was playing the Shark people, you click to play. We both have a QR code on the screen. We scan each other's QR code, and it puts and you have a live tracker here, so I can see your units that are dead. I can check out what your rules are for stuff. It was integrated nicely. A lot of war games have tried to integrate apps. It's worked to varying extent. This seems to be working well from what I've seen. Did I mention, Steve, that you could pick this up from Boards and Swords with a really cheap?
You may have done
discount. I just want to level that. So that's my presentation of War Machine. It's a game with massive robots punching each other in the face. And I can't really, there's not a lot more to say. I would suggest that if you just wanted to paint something a little bit different, but you don't want to go down like the 40k route, but you want to paint like a big hulking steam powered robot that's powered by like jellyfish or something. I don't know what that thing was. They're bringing more stuff out. There's currently hang on, let me just get this right. So there are currently 6 different armies that are then subdivided into other things as well. Some of them will be familiar for people there. So the Signar are still there, Steve. But they split into the storm, the stormy electric people, and into the trenches. So if you want if people are thinking about doing weird World War One, don't do that. Why don't you go and get some sort of like steam powered sort of trenching people who have robots that like jump over trenches, and they have really cool really fun names. I
had a box of the old trenches, and they were brilliant. They painted up so well.
The new trenches are ridiculous. They look just really, really cool. So yeah,
I've never been so sure I'm not going to start a project.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think it's
it's not going to be for everybody. But then neither is painting 72 meters of American Civil War fencing. So
true.
The reason I like War Machine, it was back in 2004, because I had sort of 4 years out of the hobby, and then me and my mate Pete, we started to get back into it. We played Flames of War, but we had that sort of sci-fi itch to scratch. Yeah. So we thought we should get back into 40k. What was I think Void was it Void was that game Void, or was that back out in the mid 2000s? But we went to an old game store in St Helens. It's not there; it has been there for years. And we just wandered around and we came across War Machine, and we were like, "We're going to try that." And so we played a lot of it. Didn't play it for before we came on. We only played it for about 4 or 5 months, but we played most Saturdays, and because it was so short and brutal, you could have 4 or 5 games in an afternoon. And I loved that the miniatures were so different to anything I'd painted before. They were big, huge, chunky mechs. It was just so good.
That's the thing I think that it attracts me to it. Now they've rolled Hordes, which was the fantasy version, and it's all just one thing now. It's all just War Machine. So you have that War Beast mechanic and you have the Warjack mechanic. It's all just under War Machine. You still got all the mercenaries. A lot of them have got new models. I think I sent this to you earlier, but I swear, or last week, I swear to God, they've made Bebop and Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which, that's awesome. I'm scrolling through it now. There is so much cool looking stuff. It's definitely not for everybody's taste. I appreciate that, but it's looking a bit different. And as I say, Ian does stock this. So Steve, you got yourself a little starter pack, and I got myself a little starter pack, and Dom got himself a little starter pack. Then, then we could have a right good scrap night before CrackPod. There we go. But anyway, that's my little presentation, and hopefully it's made Steve. And I'm gonna spam Steve with links until
to be fair, I've been meaning to get back into War Machine for years. I've got all my old cricks. I love the Revenant crew, undead pirates that used to regenerate at the end of the turn. The Bone Jacks, the huge. I had the there was one big war jacket had a harpoon, and you could drag
just over the top. It's over the top. And that's what I want from this kind of a game, though. Yes. Go and look on Boards and Swords. That's what I want. We talked about it before you go, but if there's going to be a game with big hulking robots, I want some kaiju smashing stuff going on.
Yes.
What I like about is still in it. He's still in it.
See what I liked about it as well is, like Martin said, really small army camps in the figures.
So small army count, nice looking models, bit of interesting lore.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is, and a lot of nostalgia by the sound of it.
Yeah, and it's robots punching each other in the face.
I forgot the key bit. Sorry, yes, robots.
Martin, I don't know if you were the same, but normally by about turn 4 or 5, it was just normally a great big scrum in the middle of the table as everyone was. Yeah.
I'll add this to you finally, Steve, and then I'll leave this. The grave diggers, which are the Signar trenchers, they get airdrops now. They get little airdrops. So you drop crates onto the board, like you scatter them, and if they get near them, that's how they can get extra weapons and grenades and different special weapons and stuff to encourage you to come out from the defenses. So there we go. That's good. So go on, what do you do? I got horses to paint.
It's like he just dropped a grenade into the room here by the sound of it.
Do you want me to go next, Dom? Because I think we
go
all
on
know
then. You do yours, and then we'll have a look at some of the comments, and then we'll move on to the news and do mine.
So I think people know. Yours. I think people know what I'm going to be coming up with. But my presentation is going to be done in a slightly more different way. So it should come as no surprise to anybody that my recommendation is Space Weirdos.
I've never heard of this.
You've never heard of
this? No, I've never heard of this. Can you? I'm surprised you haven't spoken about this, Steve.
I keep this to myself. I never bring this up. So if you've been living under a rock for the past 3 years, you'll know that I'm a massive fan of Space Weirdos. It's just, again, it ticks all my wargaming boxes. In fact, I'm going to go through the numbers in a second, so I won't go through that for now. But as a brief synopsis, it's a really fast-paced, low-figure count, over the top, but wholly enjoyable game. Anyone that I've shown how to play it has just got the game so quickly, and I've either gone out and bought that. I mean, when I ran this at CrackCon, Evil Jim, so Jim Reaper, he was playing. I think he was playing with Ken. And the next day, he sent me a message, and he bought the box. He bought the rules off Game Vault, and he bought 2 boxes of Stargrave figures. Bingo, yes. And same with my last year, I introduced my mate Ian to it, and again, within 15-20 minutes of explaining the rules, he'd built a war band, and we were playing a really horrifically violent, short-paced game that didn't even get to 4 turns. His entire war band was gone by the start of turn 4. But a good time was had by all. So numbers-wise, what are we looking at?
Hang on, before we move on to this, I want to know, because you do occasionally talk about this.
I do occasionally, yeah.
What is it that would get an old fart like me, who only ever really does historical stuff, to ditch all his 10 mil 100-year war stuff to suddenly start a space weirdo force? What's the one thing you're going to sell it to me on?
It's different.
Right.
Completely radically different. You couldn't get any more radically different. It's just a stupidly enjoyable game. It really is. I'm going to start off with my numbers. So the rules, what are we looking at for rules wise? Well, it changes sometimes on War Games Vault, where I can pick my copy up from, but it's never going to be more than £5.
Oof. £5.
So you can you get it as a PDF. So you can keep it as a PDF. You can put it on a tablet, or you can send it off to a third-party printer and have it printed for a couple of quid, and you've got your rule book. And what's good about it? It's an A5 zine. It's 16 pages long, and half of those are just not rules. It's scenarios and equipment and building the gang. The rules are about 5 pages. That's it. 5 pages of A5. That is your rule book right there. £5. There is another one out at the moment. It's like a fan supplement. All money from that goes to charity. I've not checked it out yet because I've been busy, but I'm going to. But it's So even with both again, I would imagine under £10 if you wanted to pick both up. Not many places can you get a complete rule set for under £10.
True.
So there we go. £5 for your rule set, and it, like I said, the artwork is brilliant. It looks like this. So it's a zine. It's A5. It's got some tremendous artwork. It's really old school. It's black and white. It's not color. It's brilliant, and it's dead simple and set out so well. Dead easy to read through. It's just a good book.
Nice.
So what other numbers are we on now? So background, fluff, and lore. There is none. There's none whatsoever.
What? None?
None. There's no. You make it up yourself. There's literally no lore or background at all.
Got you there.
Yeah. But yeah, so there isn't any background at all. You just yeah, I'm coming after that. I could be onto hiding off in here. No, you make it up. If you want robot ninja teddy bears fighting on the planet Crouton.
I've always been waiting for that.
Exactly,
No.
you can do that. You're not.
It's my Halloween costume.
You're not constrained by an order of battle from the Battle of Little Piddle in like 1215 or something like that. You can
the Battle of Little Tibble.
So you just make it up. I know Ewok Kebab, he's had stormtroopers fighting red shirts from Star Trek. So there's literally there's no background, there's no lore. You make it up yourself. I've had Star Wars characters fighting cyberpunks, and it just works really well. So yeah, there's no background. It's up to you. You could sit down and write an entire background to it yourself. And no one can tell you you're wrong because it's yours. There's no law, there's no canon, there's no nothing. There's no.
Is there an active community that doing things like scenarios or game ideas?
Yeah,
or things like that?
There's a Facebook group. I think there's a Discord as well. I don't use Discord. There's a Facebook group. People posting, their own battle reports on there, asking questions, bit of figure painting as well. So yeah, it's quite a niche game. I'd love to see more and more people playing it. I know John Sowerby in the chat. He's a big fan. He played at CrackCon as well. He took it back to the States and has been championing it in his gaming group. I think he's combined it with their Zona Alpha as well. So that's one good thing about the rules. It's just so simple. You can add to them. I've been doing a Wild West version called Old West Weirdos, which I've really loved. So you decide to start playing. What do you need as a playing area? Well, you can play it on a 2x2 gaming mat. That's about 75 points. 2x2. I mean, it means there's gonna be combat within essentially the first turn normally, and it looks really good. If you want to see what a game of Space Weirdos looks like, that's mine from CrackCon a couple of years back.
Yeah, that was a really nice table.
That was very, very cool.
Especially going past you and pressing the button to change.
Random lights coming on. So that's a 2x2 gaming mat with some Zone Mortalis scenery, and that is that's essentially what a game of Space Weirdos looks like. But you can use anything. It doesn't have to be set in science fiction. You can use any scenery you want. There is also Sword Weirdos, which is the fantasy version that I've not played yet. It's just Space Weirdos. But again, so you're looking at a 2 foot by 2 foot gaming area for 75 points. If you want to expand to 100 points, you can do it to 3 foot by 3 foot. Again, and you're not going to be playing more than anything of 3 foot by 3 foot. Again, all you do is you just pack the playing area full of scenery and have at it. It's fast paced. It's brutal. So you got your gaming area. You know what size points you're going to use. How many miniatures do you need? Well, for the most part, you're going to need 8 figures. 8. That'll get you 75 points. Were for? I mean, yeah. If you have low cost ones, you could stretch to 10 miniatures. But what's 10 miniatures? It's less than a regiment. So yeah, 8 figures, 8 to 10 figures, really low count. It's miniature agnostic, so there's no specific miniatures for it. So you can use anything you want. You can use your old Games Workshop figures, Stargrave, War Games Atlantic. Anything that you want to use can be used in games of Space Weirdos. And so you've taken the plunge. You decided you've got your war bands built.
Hang on, before you can move on, there's a very important question from Steve. Can he use 8,000 figures?
As it's you, Steve, I wouldn't expect anything less, mate. I'd be disappointed if you ever only have 8 figures on your table. I will be massively disappointed.
Brilliant. Good to know.
I can't imagine Steve's table with 8 figures on. I really can't. 8,000. I can certainly see that. So what are we looking at game length wise? Well, it's going to be, if you're lucky, you'll get a 60-minute game out of it. Because there's not many figures, and because it's so fast paced, and because things don't really survive long in it. Most characters are normally dead by the start of turn 4. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun. I mean, you can have quite a few games in the afternoon if you dice roll well. What I like about it as well is just because you've hit somebody, it doesn't mean you're going to damage them. If you roll low on the under fire chart, they can fire back. That's That's good. But yeah, that's short and sweet, but like Space Weirdos. That's my pitch for why you should be playing Space Weirdos, because it's great. It's just a great game. Low figure count, low cost to play, small playing area, great community, and you can just expand it.
People who've played it certainly seem to, want to then play. It's a little bit almost like Dead Man's Hand in a way that people who play it then seem to just want to play, more of it.
It is. I mean, when I ran it at CrackCon, even Ken, I mean, he destroyed half the table with his arms. But no, even he picked it up really easy. He loved it. Jim, John Salby, people who played it liked it because it was. I think it's because it looks simple to play. There's not much in the way of game mechanics, but it's tactically, it's quite good because you have command points where you can get certain bonuses. So you can boost an attribute for a turn. You can dodge. You can overwatch. It's just a really. It's not reinventing the wheel or anything like that, but it's a fantastic game, and it's one of those. No, if you've got say a couple of hours in the afternoon and you don't fancy getting the 6x4 out and 4.5 million figures, and you just fancy rolling some dice around for a couple of hours, it's perfect for that. It's definitely an afternoon gaming game. But that should come as no surprise that I like Space Weirdos.
You never mention it. I have to say, I understand your passion for it. I have to say, I think because I come from a more of a mass battle historical background for gaming, I kind of hear everything's dead in 4 turns as being, oh shit, that doesn't sound much good then, because I have sort of haunted by very bad tournament experiences while you've been tabled in a couple of hours. So the thought of that I'd have to get my head transplanted into one of those.
It's because I think it's the way the rules are written. It doesn't encourage sort of defensive tactics. I mean, the game only lasts 4 turns anyway, so you've not got infinite turns to get the job done or to complete the scenario. You just got to get in there and start blasting away with your dice and take things down. Like I said, the game we played. When I introduced my mate Ian to it, by the end of turn 2, there was half the characters were dead. They'd been taken out. And
you should like that, Dom, because half the time you don't finish your games in the club.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe I should reconsider. Yeah.
I'd love it if you turned down there. If you turned up. So bring down one of the massive case of your models, but you just open it. You have to print out Space Weirdos and 8 models. There you go. Don't tell like Jonathan. Just get it out. Like,
do you reckon you'd be frog marched out the club and like banned?
Well, no, there is quite. There's a number of people who do. I mean, the club has its own fantasy rule set, and they do play some big fantasy games, and. There is a reasonably active community of those weird folk, but I think Jonathan would probably never talk to me again. I think Paul would look at me very, very dodgily, and some parts of the club would definitely ostracize me. That's for sure.
But like I said, even for the rule book under £5, it's £5 for a rule book. And it's just, you're playing, just dig around your collection, get some a bit of scenery, some, 8 figures, 8 sides. I mean, it could be 8 Napoleonic figures, just set them in, outpost, Waterloo or something. Yeah. But I would highly recommend anyone giving it a go. It's just such a fun game. And like I said, I know the fast-paced and brutal nature of it won't appeal to some people who, they don't want their war games to be finished after half an hour when everyone's dead. But I do. I that's my favorite type of Space Weirdos game. Where do you know what I always think of? Do you know the gunfights in Hard Boiled? That is that for me.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine gunfights in Space Weirdos to look like. Just people diving everywhere, shattered glass, things exploding. That is what I always ascribe Space Weirdos gunfights to. But yeah, check it out. It's on available on War Games Vault. I may mention it once or twice in the future. And I am working on a new Space Weirdos warband, some freed automaton miners. So yeah, that's me.
Because Steve hasn't thought about War Machine for 10 minutes, I'm going to just spam him now. There we go. I'm just going to keep I'm just sending it to him on message.
Oh, you're sending it. Awesome.
No, I'm scared to open this now.
Anyway, while he's looking at that, yeah.
Let's move on. Let's do a couple of the comments that were put off on the Facebook page. Meanwhile, Steve's.
What is that?
Yeah, that doesn't really narrow it down. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, you pretty much covered everything, really, haven't you? Let's have a look at the Facebook comments on this post because I think there were some good ones here. A reminder: if you're not a member of the Facebook page, you can join it. There's a link down below here, and just answer the 3 questions and come along and join the community. We're a couple of thousand people, I think, there now, so it's growing like topsy. It's great. Robin posted up on here. He said he'd like to make a sensible suggestion. I'm not sure whether that's possible, but there you go. Do we allow sensible suggestions? I don't know. If you find Napoleonics too much to paint, but you want massed ranks of colourful uniforms and big flags, then try going an earlier period like WSS or GNW, Great Northern World, Great Northern Wars. Loads of colour, but the uniforms are simpler with less packs and equipment. Plus, you can then sample the lovely 28 millimeter figure. I can't speak tonight. From Ebor, which have loads of character and well priced.
I'm doing it in a minute.
Yeah. I think no, I'm not going there. No, I'm not. They look pretty. I give it. Are they simpler to paint than Napoleonics? Don't believe it. Really?
No, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. I painted up. Lots and lots of both.
And there's no white trousers.
Oh, there'll be white trousers.
Well, there's white trousers, but because they've got longer coats, you don't see as much trouser. I don't know. I'm lying now. There you go.
Yeah, what of all that as Paul would say. Paul calls it cobblers. So all the cobblers that Napoleonic soldiers wear. That's what he said. He first paid them because there isn't all the cobblers.
So Simon Stokes has made a suggestion of Howard White's Science versus Pluck rules. Too much for the Mardi. It's a war game where players take on the role of the British or Egyptian army officers in the Sudan during the late 19th century. While all ostensibly on the same side, each player has their own specific secret objective in the game, which may or may not complement their fellow players' objectives. The umpire divides scenarios, plus the objectives and controls the dervish forces. The best description of it is it's a general's role-playing game disguised as a big battle tabletop game. He said he's played it a couple of times and great fun. The rules are 30 years old now, but still available on War Games Vault. So there you go. Science versus Pluck. That's an interesting. I like the idea of these cooperative games, don't you? Have you played any of them, Martin? That sort of thing where you work alongside your colleague?
Yeah, well, I've done Rangers of Shadow Deep, where my guy got killed by the rat in like the first game. I do really enjoy.
I didn't really see that one as a cooperative game the way you lot played. I'm just going to put that out there.
my middle manager leaving them to it. So I have I quite enjoy them. Quite as as a chilled sort of evening. There was one by I forgot the name. Is it Black Site Studios that have got one coming out later this year, which is called Outlaw, and essentially you are playing a group of shit outlaws in a Robin Hood-esque setting. So you've got to be the crap outlaws being hunted by the Normans. I was like, we've all got so many Normans and Saxons that could actually be quite fun. But I think the idea is that you're not actually the very good. So you're not robbing the rich to feed the poor. You're actually just horrible, and they're hunting you. You've got to survive. I do enjoy them. They're good fun. I really do. I like them cooperative. I haven't dipped into Silver Bayonet, but I've got a lot of time for Rangers of Shadow Deep. I do enjoy that. I should play it more often, but the last game we have kind of like it went badly because of like what we rolled. It was just one of those games which was just a bit. I should probably just do another one.
What about you, Steve? Have you done cooperative games?
Not that I can remember. I may have done back in the day. Not. I mean, we've done role play, but that's just role play. It's not really a cooperative game. I imagine there's probably plenty with games like that. There's plenty of scope for backstabbing people.
I think I've played a few in the past. I'm struggling to think of rules that I've used, but a long time ago. But I think they're a nice mixture between almost role playing and wargaming, aren't they? Because if they're done right, and it does rely a lot. Those sort of games do rely a lot on a games master or umpire controlling it in a nice way to actually sort of put that sort of element of not trying to make everybody fight over each other, but if that happens to happen, then so much the better in the game. Because you don't want it just to completely descend into a complete melee of everyone sort of falling over themselves. You do want them to actually cooperate to a degree, but it's interesting. Steve Harbour says Hero Crest is the greatest ever game.
Actually, that is actually very, very true. I remember a couple of years back, I ran a couple of games of Hero Quest with my brother and my nephew, and it was my nephew. He was just obsessed with treasure. I mean, brother's like, we're down. We've not got much health. We're trying to get out of the place, and you're looking in every single treasure chest you can find. It's a really cracking co-op game. That's a good shout, Steve.
Not played that myself, so. What else do we have? Dan put a little pitch in there for On Bloody Ground as a rule set.
Oh yeah. No, that's a good shout. Yeah. I enjoy that. No, that's a good shout, a good rule set, and one that WAB players I think enjoy. It's got. It's not copy it, but it's definitely got that sort of feeling to it, thematically. So. That's what he says about it. They now cover 12 popular gaming periods for mass combat, and he says it's similar to WAB, Warhammer Ancient Battles, which interests me actually. I must dip into it because I was thinking about what you said last week about my Trojan Wars project and thinking I should go back and use WAB, and then I thought, maybe I should. But maybe that might. I don't know. Anyway, he says each rule book is only $12.95, so that's pretty good.
Is WAB still popular? Do people still play it?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that has never really died away. There's a very small, not very small. There is an active community of people who play WAB still a lot. But I don't think it's ever. It's nowhere near what it was back in the day, but I've got all the rules, so it'd be easy to do it. But maybe I don't know. Maybe that's something I look into On Bloody Ground. Also, we've got Addy said, "May I recommend Necromunda for a good game system?" And also Ian at Flags of War for his Jacobite English-French range. Can't disagree. Well, I don't know about Necromunda. I know you guys always talk about it, but the Flags of War stuff is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's a passion project from Ian.
It is.
Really, really good. Martin Hui says, I find that swords and spears rules don't get the credit they deserve. They're easy to learn, quickly to play, and they can be played as a solo game. Not done Sword and Spear. Don't know whether anyone in the chat has, but try them out. Martin recommends them. Not this Martin, other Martin. Matt says Marvel Crisis Protocol. Everybody loves a superhero. It's a fast-paced tactical game which can be competitive but also very casual. 32mm figures are easy to paint. And then for paint suggestion, he says Battlemire Mud Technical Paint is by far the easiest basing out there. Slap it on, then dry brush it to match the environment. Easy. There you go. Have either of you done Marvel Crisis Protocol?
I looked at it very briefly, but I like Batman. So, because Batman's DC, right. Unless Batman can just turn up and beat everybody, because Batman can. Batman. What was the same? Batman could beat God with prep time. So no, I've got no interest in Marvel.
I did. It was in my Amazon basket about 8 times. My only worry is that I don't think my painting would do the figures justice. So I'll just stick with.
Yeah, he suggests 32mm is a good thing, but for me, getting bigger figures is actually a bad thing, because suddenly all those absolutely khaki painting I'm doing becomes even more obvious.
Yeah,
Going small is easier to hide.
I love the concept. Like I say, it's again over the top comic book style gaming, small gaming area, not many figures. I think aesthetically, I think it looks really, really nice. But for me, but it's a bit on the expensive side as well, which normally I wouldn't really come into it, but it is very expensive.
Right. There you go. And almost as surprising as Steve talking about Space Weirdos, Steve Evans says, obviously, I'm going to suggest Kings of War by Mantic Games. Really, Steve? I'm so surprised. It's the perfect time to start playing, as its 4th edition has just been released. New streamlined rules for the beginning players, with advanced rules for the more experienced players. It's very reasonable starter sets with some cracking new plastic miniatures, including the new Kids on the Block. I can't pronounce that. Sounds like I'm clearing my throat if I try. There's a lot more background in the hardback rule supplement and novels, if that's your thing. Also, if you ever fancy some rank and file fantasy war game, take a look at Kings of War.
Okay? It's very popular.
Very, very popular.
It is popular.
I think Steve's got every army there's going pretty much in that. But yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I know you looked at it, didn't you, Martin, for a while? And I do like the look of it. I like the fact they're massed units. But
I've got it. I've played quite a few games of it. I rebased all my old Empire armies for it. I've got a 30 centimeter wide base for a large unit of pikemen, a foot wide base, like one unit.
I remember you did that.
I got it. I really
road or something going through the middle of it or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. They're straddling the road. I really enjoy it. It's I should play more of it. I don't know why we stopped. I think we just because I moved away from Cambridge and the people I play with are over there, and so many games so little time. We just stopped playing, but for no real good reason. It wasn't because any of us disliked it. We just we played it very intensely for about 6 months, like really like a lot. Like I was playing it every week for a good 3-4 months. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. It does look fascinating, but yeah. I refer you to my earlier comments about being ostracized for playing weird games. Right. I think we shall do a little bit of news and then we'll get on to my one and then we're almost done, I think. Crikey, we're rapidly through the stream. So, shall we do the competition first?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, before we do, Steve, please check your phone. I've updated you. So, anyway, carry on.
Oh, dear. If you haven't bought something by the end of this stream, Steve, there's something very, very, very wrong. Carl Burke says he's already printing out Space Weirdos. So there you go.
Yay!
I don't know what.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Right. So reminder to thanks to Ian at Boards and Swords. He has given us a set of the Mass Battle Samurai game from War Games Atlantic to give away to somebody in the UK. Sorry about that. Postage is just, and all the other stuff is a bit of a mare, so it has to be UK. So I have loaded up, I think. Let me try and do this.
If you're the winner, just pop us an email at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll put you in touch with Boards and Swords to arrange delivery.
Right. Wrong one. Can you see that? Does that work?
No, the picture's still up. Hang on.
Hang on. Oh, right. Get rid of the picture. There you go.
Hang on.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
There we go. There we go.
All right, then.
So we have actually gone up to 56 comments. So obviously 5 more people went in and put a comment on last week's video. So well done. So let's hit this. Good luck. And here we go. The winner is Grand Travis. He says he's looking forward to the new Battlefront Flames of War Maginot set. Been waiting 4 years to get some French to go against my early German forces. There you go.
Excellent.
So Graham, if you congratulations. Drop us an email, plasticcrack@gmail.com, and we'll arrange for this to be sent out to you. So well done.
Excellent.
And hopefully that'll be we'll be doing some more giveaways in the next few months, I should imagine, hopefully. So there you go. Congratulations, Graham.
Congratulations. Well, I mean, you know, that's 1,000 Napoleonic figures for you to be cracking on with. So
too right.
Yeah.
Too right.
Enjoy.
Excellent. Well, I like giving away stuff. Hey, so Graham says, I never win anything. Well, you have this time, mate.
Yeah, that's 26. The year you start. I mean, hopefully when you'll paint it up and then you'll win the games that you play with it.
Yeah,
excellent stuff. We would like progress pictures as well.
Yeah, we want to see progress pictures in the Facebook page, please. Right, Martin, do you want to take it away in terms of?
Yes, I can do. Now, mine is.
Hang on, I haven't done the news. Hang on.
Oh, I'm great. Oh no, you don't have to.
I'm obligated to do this. Sorry.
That makes me
think contract says we have to play that.
I don't know why. So my stuff is actually all GW stuff, and I know we have GW stuff people in here, and seeing as we're on topic tonight with the Wizard, why not? So there was drama. I said drama. I don't care. It's nothing that bothers me. So for those people who like the Horus Heresy, which I prefer anyway to the 40k stuff, have you seen this? They've released new custodians, which look a little bit different to the ones. Now, I quite like the look of these, and these aren't as chunky as the other ones, but they're sort of taller, aren't they? I think that's quite a cool model. I don't know how much it's going to be. He's on a tactical rock. You know, there's these. There's these. There you go. There's these. Can you see what's upset people?
Yes.
There's some people who are not very happy because should I fill Dom in?
Please, I have no idea what
they sort of did is it a retcon? They basically said they're a female, Adeptus Custodians, not Space Marines, but female V's things, and some people are not very happy about it. Some people don't care. Some people remember their little plastic figures. So if you want to build them and make some of them, because
I didn't ask that question.
No. This just no.
Okay.
Anyway, you get ahead. So if you want to build them and make them female, you can build them and make them female. And then, but I quite like that thing. I think it's pretty cool. Not as quite as nice as the some of the things that I've been sending. Steve. I mean, personally, I'd rather have a shark people like this.
Yeah.
You know, just saying, for the price of that, you could get like two sets of this. So anyway, so there's new custodians. Okay. For those of you that play Blood Bowl, the High Elves got a new team.
Nice.
To be stomped into the ground with sushi grab hold of them, which is quite cool. No idea when they're actually coming out. And then Steve, I thought this might interest you because I know you like some chaos. So the 40k, so Huron Black Heart, who is the Red Corsair. Yeah, we previewed him a few weeks ago. Dom was hot on that. And, but they've released like some of his mates and some of the other Red Corsair models as well. I quite like this. I thought that was just quite a cool model. I don't know why. I just thought it was quite groovy. Kind of just does what it. He's not on a tactical rock. It just kind of does, look, Qatar Garrix, the headsman. It kind of does what it says on the tin, really, doesn't it?
He likes his skulls.
He likes his skulls. And then there was this guy, the Garland Soul Eater, the Tyrus. I quite like these. They're more understated than other stuff. They're not jumping off a rock or bouncing off of something or got their feet. I just thought they reminded me of older GW sculpts. I liked those. I liked those. I thought those were cool. And here's some of his actual raiders, his mates. They do. I think they're actually quite nice. They are quite nice. Cool. Won't be buying them, but they are quite cool. That's what I saw, Dom. Slow news week for me. Over to you. I didn't look that hard for things. I mainly have spent my week going reading about War Machine and thinking about what I'm how I'm gonna do.
And you were just giggling all the way through, weren't you?
Basically, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I actually didn't see a huge amount myself out there, to be fair. But what I did see was from the masochists out there, Rubicon. I've got a whole load more infantry figures.
Oh, nice.
Second World War ones. That's just a selection, and there's a lot of them. British, American, Soviet kits. So yeah, I know Steve, you had a few of these. Well, you had a few Vietnam ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put me off a bit because of the multi-part bit, but they work. They work. So. They're available on the Rubicon website if you want to check that out. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to put it up anyway. So Pendragon, they've got the new version of their Future War Commander 2 rule set. Is on pre-order. If that's your thing, I guess it's some sort of space war. So up there on the website, as it says, they're due to ship on the 30th of January. So if you're interested, check out Pendragon's post on that. Lots of scenarios by the look of it. So good. Reminder for 15mm ancient players particularly, take advantage of Museum Miniatures. They've got a 25% sale at the moment, just this month. All their range, which includes the Z Sculpt miniatures, which are absolutely fantastic. So if you're into 15mm ancients, check them out before the end of the month and place your order, because as it says here, they're going to go up by a third after this offer is over. Because of the increase in metals. So if you're into 15mm, check it. It's worth checking out the Z Sculpt stuff or Z Sculpt stuff, because they are amazing. They're really, really good indeed. And the only other thing I've got is just a reminder. I know we talked about it last week, but carry on cracking 6.5 at Boards and Swords.
Yes.
Tickets are selling. It's Saturday, the 28th of March. Just a casual meetup day. For people if they want to go and have a game.
Yeah, I'm painting for my game at the minute. It's painting up some horses for the Great Northern War.
There you go. you can go along and see Martin lose another game. That'll be.
Are you coming, Steve?
I've not decided yet.
Because you could come and we could play War Machine.
Ho ho ho!
God, you've been practicing all week for this, haven't you?
We could both order. We could both order a set because it doesn't take that long. Yeah, we could play in the pub the night before, or the night after, or afterwards, couldn't we?
He's working hard. He's really working hard.
I am. It's almost fate. There's even a venue for us, and he sells it.
Oh God.
I'm definitely not coming now. He sells it.
I'll definitely be leaving my wallet at home.
Should we take that as a yes then, Steve? Yeah. Good.
I don't know. I'll need to check. I might have something else going on around that time. So
he's washing his hair.
No, it's my better half's birthday.
Is it? Okay.
It's my birthday as well.
Oh God, yeah. Well, it's not the exact day. It's a couple of days before. But we don't really do much about it, just in case he wants to. I'll say tentative. I'll imagine him responding to a team's invite. Tentative.
There we go. Old school says corner drug pusher has nothing on Martin. It's true.
No,
very true. All right, so that's all the news. I didn't say anything else. So if we missed anything, put it down in the chat. And we'll try and pick it up. But it seemed to be rather quiet, which is odd because there was so much last week. Right, I suppose it's my turn on what you should think about. So this my suggestion for a sort of underappreciated game, rule set, whatever. It's something we talked about. Actually, we talked about I think last week, Martin.
I bet I know what you've picked. What you've picked. Go on. Yes. Good choice.
So I picked this because as much as anything else to remind myself how good it is as a game. Obviously I'm talking about the first version of it, the first supplement, which is the Redcoats and Tomahawks, not the Napoleonic, which is there. But Muskets and Tomahawks, it's, as it says, it's a skirmish set or small scale game set, and that particular version, the Redcoats and Tomahawks, is set in that sort of kind of underplayed period, I think, of the French-Indian Wars, the sort of early conflicts in North America, Rogers Rangers and all that kind of stuff, and woodsmen and natives and what have you. And it's a really, really dynamic set of rules that handles some very clever mechanics very, very well. It's a card-driven game, so you have to think about how you're playing. It's done by Studio Tomahawks, and it's a card-driven game. So you have to really think about how you're going to play your set of cards and how you're going to optimize your movements.
It's very clever. It's
very clever.
The turn, because there's no turns. There's technically no turns. You just get your hand of cards, don't you? And then you have to play those cards, even if there's crap ones. And then you refresh your hand. And that's it. You every now and then you check for victory conditions.
I think that's the thing that's really clever. I agree with you, because that's so you have to play a card every turn. Well, there is a mechanic, depending on what you've done earlier in the game, you might be able to skip a turn by doing another action. But at some point, you're going to have to play one of your opponent's cards to activate some of their units. Yeah. And it's a question of when do you do that and how you best use it. It's a very clever. I think the other one that they do extremely well within the rule set is spotting and hidden movement kind of activities, because obviously that period of war, particularly, there's a lot of woodlands and a lot of heavy scenery, and they play it quite well that you need to be able to spot the enemy obviously, before you fire on them. And the card mechanic, or the way the mechanics work on that, if you're, native Indian troops hiding in a wood, you can get blooming close to the redcoats before they even know you're there, and can respond to you. And I like that because I think it's really cleverly done. It can be very frustrating if you then suddenly get a whole load of attacks coming at you from nowhere. But it's very, very clever. So it's kind of like it has the narrative bit of a game like the other one I love, which is Sharp Practice. Very similar in terms of the sort of narrative ability of a game. It's very cinematic in terms of what goes on. But it's I wrote down here, but it's elegant, and I think it is quite elegant as a rule system. I think it's quite well done. Small number of troops. You don't need huge numbers. 30, 40 figures or so aside. So it's a small figure count. And the beauty of it, if you're playing this sort of period, there's loads of manufacturers that do them. So you can shop around, pull together forces from all over the place. And there's quite a nice variety of troop types. So even if you're playing the redcoats, you've got the irregulars, you've got guards, you've got Hessians, you've got irregular troops, loyalists, militia, all sorts of things.
Right.
Sorry, carry on.
No. I interrupted you. It's your. I was going to just kind of jump to mind is the things I enjoy about it is you got almost two. You can have the regiments, you can have those blocks of troops if you want, or you can completely go down the irregular route and just fill your ranks with those. It really lets you play your way. It doesn't. There is no benefit to taking one or the other. It's just what you prefer. Big, regiments that that are in formation get some cool rules for volley fire and things like that. But they can't maneuver through woods, and they get stuck. The other troops, they get they can get through those troops, but they don't get the benefit of that mass musketry. And so it's because you can choose to shoot with an entire. So if you have 8 models in your unit, you can choose to shoot with all of them, but they can't fire next turn, can they? They can't fire next time they're out. Or you fire with half, and then you can just represent that sort of reloading. And
that's right.
It's quite cool. And close combat is brutal. Absolutely.
Close combat is brutal, particularly if one side's got tomahawks. That is pretty scary. Yeah, exactly right. And I think that sort of, to me, it sort of builds that flavor of, when you, of that sort of period of, just not sure where the threat's coming from or when it's coming, because I think the bit I prefer, I love Sharp Practice, but the bit I prefer with this is that sometimes when you play Sharp Practice, troops don't move for long periods. They just don't activate for whatever the way the cards come out. The turn finishes before they've activated. So you suddenly find that your unit of whatever it may be just hasn't moved for 2 or 3 turns. That doesn't tend to happen in Muskets and Tomahawks. Everything will move at some point. Now, whether or not you can do everything you want is another question, but you don't end up with a unit just sat there on a crossroads and being shot to pieces by everybody. So I quite like that mechanic of it. The other bit I think is really cool, which I think is almost underappreciated sometimes, is that you see some amazing tables for Muskets and Tomahawks. It is some of the it's a terrain builder, table builder's delight to build up. I've showed this picture here. This is a picture that James Midgard James put together. This whole series of pictures of some of the games he's done, and it's just so cinematic. It's like for those of us certain age, when the Sunday films that used to come on the TV when it was raining and you didn't have anything to do, and there's amazing films about the wars in this period on television and what have you. It's brilliant, really, really clever. There's another one there. Some lovely pictures of some great terrain setups, and you can have a field day, literally building the terrain. So I think that's really cool indeed. So that would be my push for it. I think it's.
I'd say that's. I think it's a great shot. There's some good starter armies. I personally like the North Star miniatures.
Yes.
You can get like some really good armies, army packs on there, like good starter ones that you can then expand. Because I started with the French Canadian Marines and natives, and then I expanded and I went and got grenadiers and cannons and all sorts. Just I thought I'd go down the dual sort of route of skirmishes. And what are you saying, David? Another low figure count? Do I hate me? I probably spend more on that than in the 6 mil. Do they do a version a la Burrows and Badgers? Muskrats and Tomahawks. There's it covers a lot of periods, doesn't it? As well. So if you do 1812, in the back book anyway, 1812, American War of Independence and the French Indian War. I really like the French Indian War feel of it. That the Napoleonic one we've talked about before, it just doesn't have the right feel. But the one thing I did think it would be work with is if you're doing the Perrys have just released that guerrilla box where you get like 100 or 120 odd French and Spanish guerrillas. I think it would work for that. That's the right kind of field of guerrilla fighting. The ACW as well, which I noticed Paul just said is coming out this year. It deals. You could do the guerrilla sort of warfare.
So would you describe it as sort of on the larger end of skirmish?
I mean, it's not skirmish in the sense that you're doing your Space Weirdos.
No. I mean, there's going to be an awful lot more figures. But would you say it's not? You're not going to say
large skirmish, small battle. Is that
that sort of size.
It's like Saga. It's the same company. You're dealing with units rather than individual. Even though it has figure removal, you're dealing with maybe. You could I have about 8-9 units in my force, so 8-9 units which vary from 4 models up to 14 models in some of my units. So you can really push it, and I just think it's quite representative of the warfare of that period. And again, it's quite especially with the French Indian War stuff. And also you could just put on the Lost Mohican soundtrack on repeat in the background.
Well, there is that, absolutely. I think it's a very clever system, and I don't play it enough. I know you mentioned it the other week, Martin.
I recommended it to someone who just plays bolt action. So he was like, I'm looking for something a bit different. I want something with muskets. And I was sitting there, and he didn't want to do black powder. He didn't want to do. I can't remember what the other thing he said was, and I said that I was like, if you want to do something completely different, like that, you can't get much more. But it's a D10 game as well.
That's the downside. But
I like a D10. You're getting more. You like Baron's War? That's D10. You like Muskets?
I know. I had to buy a whole load more bloody D10 because my D10 dice were so rubbish. So I've got something to swap to. Very good. I think Muskets and Tomahawks really good. Some really good scenario potential in it. Also campaign potential in it. You can do lots of link battles and what have you. So that would be my push on it. So let's have a look at some of the comments people put in the chat earlier on through the stream. Duncan says, my current obsession is Ark World. Simple, fun, brutal. The main rules, faction rules, and the army builder are all free. Low model count. Warp miniatures make great miniatures for it.
They do. They make lovely miniatures, especially the little gnome armies.
Oh yeah, it's them, is it? Oh
there is. Yeah.
Last week, Duncan's been painted some of the gnomes. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they're I've got the rule. Well, I backed the Kickstarter. I've got two complete forces. I've never painted them. Lovely miniatures.
Lovely.
They got a shop. They got a shop in Nottingham, a brick and mortar shop.
They really?
Well, yeah. He went and bought it. They've opened the shop. You can go in, gaming, model, sculpting, for a small. But I think it's really good because it's what I think that's a fantastic thing.
Did we mention about Warlord's new brick and mortar store
up in Newcastle?
I thought it was Wigan.
That was Newcastle. I don't know. No,
somewhere up north.
It's up north anyway.
Up north somewhere.
I think it's Wigan, which isn't that very far away from here, so it'll be easy to get to the Nottingham.
Good. More money for you to spend there. This wasn't a direct reference to the what we're talking about tonight, but I'll pull it out anyway. GMDM78 says, evening, getting back into painting. Last time was 1979. Just discovered this channel. We'll catch up tomorrow as I can't watch right now. Good on you, mate. Welcome back. The hobby never dies. It just keeps pottering along in the background. So it waits for you to come back to it. It's all fine. Lionheart, he says, the one project I'm working on that many people do is the Anglo-Egyptian War of 1882. I'd like to see one of you take up painting Egyptians with white uniforms with red fezzes. Sounds like one for you, Steve.
No.
Okay.
No.
You sure?
I'm too busy getting into War Machines.
Aussie Mozzie says, project I'm starting at the moment is 28mm armies for Silmarillion First Age battles. That sounds fun. Wonder what rule sets he's using for that. What do you reckon?
Midgard, maybe. That'd be a good shout.
Yeah, that would be a very good shout. Yeah. Very nice. All about silver bayonets. Love it. Yeah, there were quite a few comments around silver bayonets. That's a game that sort of exploded into the scene and then seems to have sort of continually kept a reasonable level of activity. It hasn't gone bananas, but it's never died. It's sort of stayed very active community of that. So yeah. John Sowerby says, Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship. Okay. Is that just general? I don't know. Anthony says he thinks sharp practice are great for creating cinematic moments, and who doesn't want to play a game that gives you license to exclaim bastards every 10 minutes? Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, and I think you did make the comment, does Muskets and Tomahawks allow you to say bastard? I mean, you can say bastard anytime you like, really. But yeah, that's a fair point. I do like sharp practice. I think it's a very, very good game. It's probably... At times, it's my favorite game. I haven't played it for well over a year, but I do really like it. But I think Musket and Tomahawk has something different, and I like that too. Lionheart says, I would say Chicago Way doesn't get the love.
Yeah, that's a good shout. It doesn't get as much love.
Very good shout. Very good shout. Matt says, I strongly recommend Crossfire, but only if you adapt it a la Lindyberg to make it 1-to-1. It makes much more sense that way. I've only ever managed one game of it, but I love the feel it had. Okay.
Yeah, Crossfire. That's the one where there's no measurements. You don't have a tape measure. You just keep moving and moving and moving until you lose the initiative.
By that concept. I'm still not sure how it works, but I want to try it just to see how it works.
Yeah, check out. Yeah, Lindy Bays has got an entire series on his YouTube channel about Crossfire. His table is just fantastic. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting concept. That there's no measurements. It's just you just keep moving. It's all about movement and fire and suppression.
Lovely, jubbly. Oh, my thing's just frozen a minute. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. My screen's just frozen for a minute. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay. Don't think I can select anything. It's not letting me do anything. Steve, you decided what you're buying yet?
To quote Richard Sharp.
So everything that you've got is still usable through the legacy stuff. So you could even just buy just like one little pack to like just I know I can use that with my new army and look at it, or a new warcaster.
I know exactly where all my wargate, my cricks is in a box on top of my wardrobe.
There you go. Treat yourself.
I think the only thing I'm missing is the warjacks. I don't know what happened to them, but I've got the bone jacks, I've got the revenant crew, I've got mechanthrals, I've got a couple of pistol wraiths.
I'm going to send you every warjack now.
I've got
old school says
yes.
Yeah,
with 3 to 4 figures per side. Sculpts are beautiful works of art. They are beautiful figures. They're really, really cool.
Do you know what I love
you're
about
a big
that?
Bushido fans, aren't you?
I love Bushido. I think it's just such a unique game. I like the mechanics in it I like the risk reward mechanics. I really enjoy that.
The co-op that game we played at CrackCon that you put on for me and Ian. That was brutal.
That's very so one where he lightning bolted your character and your character like deflected it into your other character that then got frazzled.
Yeah. My owl
and it was
man.
Like the old man owl. Yeah. Got
yes. There was that bloody giant tortoise marauding around the battlefield, caused me no end of problems. But yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
it was just
good fun. Good fun game.
It is.
Side question from Steve: any of us used paint pens, and what do we think? You're a big fan of paint pens, aren't you, Martin?
Probably not as big as you think. I've got the AK markers, the first sort of ones they did, and I used those. I've got these play markers, and I hated these.
Yeah,
I didn't like them. I haven't tried the speed paint ones. And I do have somewhere one of the army painter ones, and I didn't get on with that one either. So these ones that are more like a felt tip, the ACOs, I got on with these weirdly.
Yeah, I like those.
The ones that I like. Those
are the ones I use.
So these ones I like. And they do what I need them to do, which is nice. But yeah, the other ones I didn't get on with so well. Got to admit.
No, some of them are a bit too. They come out either too much paint or not enough paint, and then they're very difficult to control. So, but those AKs, I like them for doing things like edging on weapons or swords, sort of bayonets and that sort of thing. I think it worked really well.
I think they're just I don't think that they're a crap product. I just don't think they're for me. These ones worked for me for what they were designed to do. But when I did a review, they made sense. The other ones I just didn't get on with. I didn't want to play. Marcus, Steve, I sent you 3 more photos, dude. Gonna keep going.
Keep going. Right, we're almost at the end, so let's have a look at some of the pictures from the Facebook page. So remember, anybody who hasn't, some of them haven't loaded. Oh well, that's good. We haven't got much time. Anybody who hasn't joined the Facebook page, why not click on the link down below, answer the 3 questions, and come along and show us what you're gaming and you're working on and all the other stuff. Oh, look at him. He's crumbling. He's definitely crumbling. So let's. Oh, what's going on? My computer's doing weird thing. I'm going to start with Stephen. I guess you guys are very excited about them.
Oh, very nice. Oh, look at that yellow. Very cool. And now hang on, Steve. Let me get this right. Is this the color of a Space Wolf that you like or that you don't like?
That is somewhere in the middle. It's not. I prefer the more grey stone color. But what I don't like is like the baby blue, really light blue. Yeah. But no, they're absolutely spot on. They're fantastic.
Nice.
Very nice. No, very cool. The yellow especially. I really do like. He posts up all this for you, so and it's lovely. It's some of the best I've seen on there. Really nice.
Yeah, very cool indeed. Joe, this is a he basically created this character for his Dead Man's Hand groups. It's a
nice.
scout.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool. I like that a lot.
Nice.
Something a bit different from Jeffrey. 1920s and 30s agitators.
Hey.
Is that a tactical case or a deck? I don't know. Either way, very cool. I like these figures. Now, Gary showed off. I mean, we talk a lot about 28mm Napoleonic figures. Steve especially loves his drummer. We talk about all different ranges, but the one that we don't talk about an awful lot is Hat. So he posted up some pictures of his Hat 28mm Bavarians. He said they're they're very simple. Their sculpting isn't the very, very best, but they're cheap, and for a mass battle unit,
that's what you want, isn't it?
Free for it away,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I think they don't get enough love as they should do. So I'm showing them off here. So thanks, Gary, for putting them up there. There's loads he put up of Hat stuff, so worth checking out if you're looking for a bit more affordable Napoleonic army that they do. Juris was showing off his Teutonic army. This is just some of the knights from it. Had various sergeants and whatnot in his force. So nice to see a different variant of Baron's War.
Very cool.
Tony has been working on his Cazadors, the Napoleonics, which I
Very
like.
nice.
A soft spot for those. You have to say bastard in Portuguese for them. Chris, these are his ever victorious army for the one of the what's the war? Opium Wars in China. Really cool. That's an underappreciated. I should have done that, shouldn't I? Boxer Rebellion and the Opium Wars. That's a very underappreciated period of history for gaming. Tim has been working on his 15mm Germans.
Oh, nice.
Artim.
No, I don't think that's Artim. I think it's a different Tim.
No, Artim. No, I'm saying Artim is like when someone says R Dom or R Steve.
Artim. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm not with it at all tonight.
They're lovely. Really like
they're
them.
very cool.
Yeah,
I think they're mostly Battlefront, but I think he said some of the vehicles might be 3D printed. So very cool. Paul, these is natives. Look at those. Very cool indeed.
Very nice.
Very good indeed.
When I painted my pony, adding the war paint was terrifying. Adding war paint over nicely colored, nicely painted flesh is a terrifying step to halfway knacker you mentioned, but they are absolutely brilliant. Really, really nice.
And then finally, I'm going to show this one, sort of reference your earlier thing with Space Weirdos.
All right,
Steve. This was James's brain for was it Doom? I think.
1490 Doom. Yeah.
1490 Doom. So he's been playing around with.
You just want to play on it, even if you don't play that game. I would see that right now. I want to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
no idea what the game is, no idea what it is, but you look at that and go, wow.
That's another game people should check out. 1490 Doom. Brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant.
There you go. That's all I have. We're crikey, we're nearly 4 minutes over. Crikey, O'Reilly. It's going to cost us a fortune in overtime. Thank you once again, everyone who joined tonight. Really appreciate it. Good discussion around things you should buy.
Yeah.
Have you ordered yet?
Sod off.
I'm going to be sorry afterwards. I'm going to tell him about how much it'll actually come out as if he orders from Boards of Swords, where we get our discount. So,
brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing. I will be Indiana Jonesing into one of those boxes over there and digging out because I know exactly where it all is. So I'll be and I think I've actually got a bag of Mechantrolls down there somewhere. So yeah,
you've got him back on it again, Martin. That's for sure.
Yeah,
awesome. Overtime.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Okay, so next week we're on Martin's channel. What we up to next week?
just a hobby stream next week.
Oh,
We're going to be doing a few more of these, so we can just catch up, just get some painting done, see what you guys. Of course, if anyone has any questions, or if you can feel free to email us beforehand if there's a question that you want us to, to chat about while we get some painting done. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right. Well, everyone have a really good week. Thank you once again for joining us tonight. And we will see you all next Monday on Martin's channel. Stay safe, stay well. Have a good week.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.